Okay, so welcome to this warm and toasty Christmas in a box class. So this is just your quick introductory video to let you know what to expect in your box, what the cards are, and any quick hints and tips and those sorts of things. So first of all, you will have 6 sheets like this with all the projects on and your instructions on the back, so you'll have those to start with. If your kit came with a stamp set, then you should have a stamp set in your kit like that, and then you'll have 6 envelopes like this, each of them containing the bits and pieces you need to complete each of the 6 cards. So this first card just here, you've got your Knight of Nady card base, you've got an embossed Whisper White base. What I haven't put in there is an insert, so I need to do that for you. And then you've got your layers that make up your front panel. You've got a die cut of the snowflakes, and you're just going to need to snip and break that into 2 sections so that you've got one section for the bottom here and one for the top. You've got your 3 little iridescent pearls, and you've got a bit of ribbon, so you need an insert to go with that one. And so then what we've done is I've stamped this polar bear first, sort of in the orientation it is in the stamp set, so lying down. Then I've created a mask out of a post-it note, stuck that over the top, and then the second polar bear I've twisted so he looks like he's standing up, very Torval and Dean. So those are your 2 sort of big polar bears in the background, and I've just given them different colour scarves and hats and things. And then baby polar bear in the middle, I've stamped him onto a separate little piece of card that you've got there. Fussy cut him out, and I've used watercolour pencils to colour these. Obviously you can use whatever colour mediums you've got, so I've just simply coloured in that hats and scarves, given them a bit of colour in their ears, given some sky around the outside, and then I've just gone in with a sort of grey pencil around the outside of the bears just to help them pop out from the background a bit, give them a bit of dimension. So that's that one. We need that to one side to remind me that I need to put an insert in there. This one we have the reindeer, the little polar bear, and the set of mice. So what you've got in this kit is you've got a Whisper White card base, you've got a Pacific Point base to go in the background, then you've got 2 pieces of shimmery white cardstock here. The larger one you're going to put down a watercolour wash with some blue ink. I've used Pacific Point. Obviously if you haven't got Pacific Point, pick another blue ink and just lay down your background of blue, and then I've taken my brush and I've added in some splatters. And then you've got this smaller strip just here. So what I've done on this smaller strip is I've stamped my reindeer and my polar bear just here, my mice down here, and I've taken my scissors, cut round it, left a bit of a strip of snow in there, and then cut round my mice here. And then I've watercoloured those, so I've used ink and watercolour again with the polar bear. I just took a bit of actually that was grey granite, but just a pale grey light blue colour just to give some highlights round there again, and sort of, you know, different colours on the feet and the antlers for the reindeer, but you can colour yours in exactly how you like. But you've got this strip then that you're going to be able to stick on the front. The little polar bear just here, I've just taken a craft knife and made a little slit along his arm just there, and that's how I've tucked that star in and stuck that in place. You've got your 2 pieces for your tree, and you've got a strip for your trunk, so they just all need to be stuck together. And then also you'll find a piece of paper folded up like this. Now as you open up that piece of paper, you'll find a whole load of dots that you can use to decorate your tree. Obviously you've got your stitched star, and then you've got your bits for your greetings. So do your background, stick that onto your card mat, stick your tree in place with its dots on, and then I've used some dimensionals to lift this front section up, so that's sort of, it's a bit 3D. So that's all of that one. pop that one away because that one was intact. We've got the reindeer and the rabbits on this one. So you've got for this one a seaside spray background, and I've actually just stamped lots of snowflakes and the greeting and heat embossed those in white. Obviously, if you can either use white ink or do them in black or in silver. If you've got silver embossing, you can do that. You've got an insert on this one, so I've remembered your insert for that. I've die cut you a curvy piece. Now you might want to trim that down a bit more. They probably varied a little bit in depth, so trim that as you require it. So that's going to give you your curvy hill. You've got your trees here die cut. Now obviously these are all green, so with this one I took some watercolour pencils, added in some brown for the trunk. I've added in sort of some just some green shading to give the idea of the trees, and added in a bit of white for a watercolour pencil or just a white pencil for snow. So that's your trees that are going to perch on top of your hill. You've got a piece of crumb cake there, so I've stamped my reindeer onto my crumb cake card and cut him out. Again, I've just added in some touches with watercolour pencils, so I used a bit of white on his sort of fluffy chest bit just here, and on his tail, added in some darker brown for his antlers and his hooves, gave him some pink cheeks and some pink in his ears. His nose, I actually used a stamping blend, a red stamping blend, and then went over it with Wink of Stella. Any permanent red marker will do that, or you could do that with your watercolour pencils and just give him a bit of a shiny nose, or give him a glittery nose, or whatever you've got to make him red and shiny. I cut out the rabbits. Obviously I did not attempt to cut out this bit. I've just shaded in there with some blue, or you could leave it white because it's sitting against the snow, that's fine. I just went round the edges of the rabbits with some different colours, some browns and some greys, left their faces quite white, gave them some pink ears, obviously coloured in tails and the sleigh itself. The stamp has got the notes. I did not make any attempt to cut those out. Once I've stuck them on, I just used a black pen and added in some notes of my own. So you've got your little strip here of linen thread, braided linen trim. So I've just stuck that to the back of the reindeer and the back of the sleigh, and I've put those up on dimensional so they're standing forward. Here's your white card that you're going to use to stamp your rabbits onto, and then you've got a bit of DSP. So I've just literally stamped that bow tie portion of that stamp onto my DSP, cut that out and paper pieced it on the top just to give him a nice bright festive bow. He looks very smug, doesn't he? That reindeer looks very pleased with himself. This one is using these little mice. So what you've got is you've got a large, so in your pack you've got your Pear Pizzazz card base, you've got an insert there, and you've got your red mat to go on the front, and then you have this piece of Whisper White card here. So what I would do is I would start at the top in the middle and just stamp your first pair of mice, and then stamp one this side and one that side. They're probably going to go slightly off the edges, but that's fine. And then the same on the bottom, do the middle one first and then cut them, and then you're going to need to slice that in half. And once you've done that, you're going to be able to stick one at the top of your card and one at the bottom of your card. You've then got a strip of DSP and a mat that's going to sit on that will go between the two. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me, I knew that was coming. So you've got that then to stick down the middle. You've got 3 little stitch stars. You've got your greeting panel here, your oval greeting panel, and your scalloped panel to go at the back. 3 little stitch stars and 3 little red rhinestones. So that's the little mice. Obviously, if you want to colour them in further or drag out any of that colour or anything, you absolutely can. Let's pop that in. Card number 4. So this card is the rabbits. You've got a cherry cobbler card base. You've got a mat of white So you've got three pieces in here. You've got one slightly larger, which is your mat of white to go on the front, and then you've got two slightly smaller pieces of white. One is your insert and the other is what you're going to lay your strips onto, and obviously you can make those in whatever order you like. Stick your strips along there. You might need to trim them down a little bit either end, but just lie those across your card. You're definitely going to have to cut them off lengthways, but you might have to trim them one way or the other as well, or both sides. So just cover that strip of card with your strips of paper. That will then layer up onto this white card that's on the front of your cherry cobbler card, and then you've got a stitch circle that you're going to stamp your rabbits onto. I've coloured these in stamping blends, but again, whatever colour mediums you have. So I've coloured those on the rabbits. You've got a piece of whisper white here that you're going to be able to stamp that greeting onto. Obviously the greeting comes as a sharing Christmas cheer, one sort of squarish greeting, but then you're going to cut that into strips. So you've got 3 individual words, back that onto some shaded spruce, scatter those across your card, and you've got your little rhinestones there as well. So that's that fun little carol singing bunnies. They're very cute, these little creatures, aren't they? So that's that one. Let's pop that one in there. This one here, is this our final one? I do believe it could be. So this one here, you've got a black mat, and you've got this piece of a Pacific point just here. Now what you're going to do with your Pacific point piece is you're going to stamp baby polar bears all over it. And then what I've done is taken a white pencil, and so mine was, well actually before you do that, then I've gone in between. So I've taken that snowflake stamp and I've stamped snowflakes in between all my polar bears, and then I've taken a white pencil and I've just coloured in all my polar bears with a white pencil, and I've taken a black pencil, I've done their paws, and I've just sort of brought a bit more highlight to the faces with those black pencils as well. So you've just got an all over white polar bears with their little black faces peeping out. Very cute. So that's that. You'll then obviously stick that onto your black mat. You've got a piece of Pacific point there, and I've done mine with white embossing. Again, you could use silver if you haven't got white, or you could use white ink, or you could do it in black because you've got lots of black in the background. That would still work. So you've got your warm and toasty wishes to you. You've got a vellum snowflake that's stuck on there. You've also got, where we've got a little self-adhesive blue gem there, ready to stick in the middle of your snowflake. And then you've got, if you've had a card kit off of me recently, you will already know. If you haven't, if you lift this piece of washi tape, the word just disappeared then. If you lift this piece of washi tape, you will find all your little star sequins underneath. You might just be able to see those peeping through. Can you see them? So that's how I've attached your star sequins in there, so that they don't fly all over the place when you open it up. So that is that one. And let's pop there. So all I need to do is finish printing off all of these instructions for you. Put some card inserts into there, and then you will have the kits on the way to you for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little warm and toasty Christmas cards. So I hope you enjoy that kit. If there's any problems, do let me know. If you get stuck on anything, obviously I'm here to help. Have fun.